Welcome you. Glad to have you along. Mississippi State controls the opening tip, and Josh Hubbard looking for a record-setting three-pointer. Walked it into the front court. Mississippi State coming in at 3-8 in conference play. All loose, and Hubbard stepped on the sideline. That's a turnover for the Bulldogs on the opening possession. Starters tonight for Ole Miss: Ilias Comardine, along with Malik Dia, Eduardo Klafke, Patton Pinkins, and Augusto Casilla. A little bit different look for Ole Miss. Dia has come off the bench the last few games. Klafke kicks it off. Comardine turned down the three. It's Casilla who fires the three. He's off the mark. And now Mississippi State back into the offensive end. Sean Jones Jr., Jaden Epps, Hubbard. That's a three from the corner, and that is from Achor. He shoots just 26% from behind the arc, but he knocked that one out.
That's a really good sign right there for State, getting some early offense for someone besides Hubbard. Mississippi State's going to have to see if they can manufacture some buckets around with some balance.
Elbow jumper rims out for Dia. Mississippi State with the early lead. Jaden Epps running the point. Epps guarded by Casilla, gets it off to Achor. Achor looking for help, dumps it off to Sean Jones Jr. Epps with 10 to shoot. 5 to shoot. Epps kicks it to the corner. Achor this time on the ground, and he's bumped. That is a bailout foul with 1.9 on the shot clock.
Yeah, those are tough ones right there. You've been playing really good defense for the duration of the shot clock and undisciplined at the last second. Mississippi State going back to the line.
Records for these teams are identical at 11-13, 3-8. Both teams desperately looking for a win in Southeastern Conference play. Achor's got the first 4 of the game for Mississippi State. He had only 3 points in the first meeting between these two teams. Achor from Melbourne, Australia. Played at Samford and Kansas State before transferring to Starkville.
Both of these teams trying to fill each other out early on to find where their advantages lie.
Casilla has his turnaround blocked. That was Quincy Ballard. Bulldogs with an early 4-0 lead. Hubbard tipped into the air. State turns it over for the second time. Ole Miss running. Cross-court pass. Klafke, open three. Got it.
That's a really good job by Ole Miss. And they're doing a great job with a spirited effort on Josh Hubbard. They double-teamed him and got the ball out of his hands. That created the turnover, and Klafke drains a 3-ball after the ball reversal.
Achor hit a 3. He's got a free throw as well. Here's Epps. Got around his man, tries to dump it off inside. How about another bucket for Achor? Achor, all 6 for Mississippi State belong to him.
Well, this is really good job by Mississippi State. If you keep your eyes on the offensive end for State, Ole Miss is trying to get the ball out of Josh Hubbard's hands, but the other 4 are doing a really good job of executing.
Pinkins was trying to go inside to a cutting Comardine. A little bit of contact, no whistle. He threw it away. Chris Beard asking Pat Adams, our crew chief tonight, how did you miss that? And then redirecting his ire to the other end of the floor and Garrick Shannon. Chris Beard, 4 different programs to an NCAA tournament.
Well, he's done a phenomenal job, and he's doing a really good job here at Ole Miss. You have to look at the defense, making sure they're keyed in on Hubbard.
Epps off the mark with the 3. Saved in bounds, and Ole Miss keeps it as James Scott and A.J. Storr have come into the game. See a cut off on the drive by Ballard, gets into the lane. Comardine turned down the 3. Dia with some space, mid-range jumper, and it won't go.
Dia has a soft touch in that mid-range, but I think when he comes on that side pick and roll, if he rolls with a little bit more intensity, he can find something at the cup At 6'9", 250 pounds, you want to impose your will, and there's someone imposing their will right there. A chore on a burner early on.
The lead is 6. The score is a chore 9, Ole Miss 3. What a start.
Talked to head coach Chris Jans. He said we have to get some offensive production from someone else, and you got to step up so far already from a chore.
A.J. Storr gets to the mid-range. That's where he has lived this season, but too strong with the shot. The Bulldogs clear it. Hubbard trying to find a little space. He throws a lob and a flush. A chore with 11 points. In the first 4:15 of this game, he's got all of the Bulldogs scoring.
Well, you talk about stepping up when you need it. Mississippi State has been executing the game plan tonight when they're keying in on Josh Hubbard.
He's made all 4 of his shots, 2 of them from beyond the three-point arc, and he was 1 of 2 from the free throw line. 11-3, Mississippi State with an early 8-point lead over Ole Miss.
I'm going to anticipate an adjustment defensively by Ole Miss. They have been face guarding Josh Hubbard and trying to attack him offensively. You got to respect the other players.
A.J. Storr off the mark with a 3. Mississippi State gets the rebound. Epps quickly ahead to Hubbard. Commerdine guarding Hubbard. They didn't flash him that time. He gets the runner and the roll in the lane. One-on-one, a little easier for him.
And that's how you play the game. And Josh Hubbard has been unselfish in getting the ball out of his hands. And now as the defense resets to a normal matchup, he takes advantage of his one-on-one set.
Chore gets a hand on it, knocks it out of bounds. Bulldogs on a 9-0 run. Corey Chest, James Scott go to the bench for Ole Miss. Cassia back in.
Malik Dia checking back in. If I'm Dia and you got a Chore who's been working really hard, you want to come in and establish some low post position and see if you can draw a foul and change up the rhythm of this game.
Patton Pinkins off a screen, lets the 3 fly, and it rims out. Ole Miss just 1 of 8 from the field to start the ball game. Hubbard guarded by Pinkins. Epps finds a Chore. And he turns it over, trying to feed it inside to Ballard. A.J. Storr trying to go coast to coast, had it stripped, ball loose. Ole Miss picks it up. Commerdine, extra pass. Pinkins wide open 3, no.
Really good box out right there by Epps on the weak side.
Storr with the rebound. And a foul on Mississippi State. Chris Jans in his 4th season in Starkville, 74-53. Well, this group of guys that have won 21 or more games have gotten to the tournament in each of their first 3 seasons in an SEC school. That is quite the group. John Calipari at Kentucky, Bruce Pearl at Tennessee, Tubby Smith at Kentucky, and Chris Jans.
Well, he's amongst elite company, and he's a big-time coach. His team this year maybe not playing to the level that they have in the past, but they're starting to make some adjustments. He's feeling confident with his team in every single outing. But here you are today with another opportunity to turn the momentum down the stretch.
You go back to New Mexico State, it's actually 4 consecutive NCAA tournaments. Travis Perry's 3 won't go, coming in and firing off the bench. They checked on Klafke just a moment ago. Looked like he turned his ankle, but he's back into the game. Sergei Matsura had a big game in the first meeting between these two. 9 points and 11 rebounds. He's in for the first time tonight. And a turnover there on Josh Hubbard. Stepped on the sideline right in front of the official.
And there's that pressure right there when Hubbard gets that handoff that they trap him. And if you're Josh Hubbard, when you get these handoffs, you got to be very decisive, as Ole Miss is not going to allow him to sit there and survey the court and make a decision.
Malik Dia down the lane, off the glass, and a chance for a 3-point play for Dia.
That's what I want to see from number 0 in white. You know, with his physique and his skill set, you want to take your man right to the rim in the paint, apply the physicality, and then finish point-blank buckets. When you do that, that's going to soften up the defense, not just for yourself, but for the rest of the team to get the outside shot.
You know who else wants to see more of that?
Who's that?
Chris Beard. Talk to us about that. He says that's where he thinks Malik Dia as his best. They don't always completely agree on that.
Well, listen, as a big that has touch, oftentimes you want to show that you have that. but many times you have to set the tone and establish within the paint. And the best place to show that you have touch is at the free throw line after drawing fouls.
Jabari McGee has come in. Shot clock at 5. McGee going to his right, trying to find some space. The step back, a little too strong, and Comardine secures the rebound for Ole Miss. Storr flips it into the post. Dia working down low. Goes up with the left hand. Josh Hubbard, boy, he can rise in a hurry. He's got as much vertical elevation on a jump shot as anybody in college basketball.
He does, and he does it so effortlessly. But this is a game where they're trying to key in to take everything away from him, that he has to pick and choose his spots to be assertive offensively.
Dia, top of the key. He'll go for the jumper, and he hits it from 17 feet.
That's how you play. He went down low and got that and one, and then he went back to the paint. You establish yourself down low and then span your game out after scoring the easy two.
Bulldogs led it by 10. The lead right now is 5. McGee, the transfer from UAB, had big numbers for the Blazers and also in junior college before ending up at Mississippi State. Shot clock winding down. Montserrat with the 3.
Really good job by Sergei Montserrat. He caught that ball and made a decisive decision. A.J. Storr not too spirited on that closeout, and Montserrat knocks it down.
Storr looking to answer, and he did.
They get him going in that mid-range, and there he is.
Look at Hubbard knifing his way through the lane, and he gets the roll. Couple of buckets from Hubbard, not from the perimeter, but at the cup.
Electric. He has one of the quickest first steps in college basketball, and when he gets in that paint, you're at his mercy. He can shoot the floater, and he can finish with a lot of ability.
Dia left alone, tried the 3. An easy rebound there for Sean Jones Jr. Mississippi State has made 3 threes already, a couple of them from a chore there. Josh Hubbard draws the foul. So we'll take a breath and we'll take a break. Mississippi State at the free throw line. Malik Dia coming to life.
And that's how you impose your will down low. You set the tone on the inside, and when you do that, that opens up things for you to shoot your sweet jumper from the outside. You got a good one starting up here early on in Oxford. Will be top-notch. South Carolina, after that loss against Oklahoma, has responded with some massive wins in big games, but LSU and Kim Mulkey should be ready for this one.
Josh Hubbard makes the first at the free throw line. He was fouled by Klafke before the break. Hubbard, the junior from Madison, Mississippi, played at Madison Ridgeland Academy. During the break, we saw Chris Beard and Malik Dia face to face.
Well, this is one of those situations where he's letting his player know, listen, you can be one of the best bigs in the conference if you dominate in the interior. And this is what he needs and the team needs. And this is excellent coaching by Chris Beard to let one of his star players know how he can be the most effective for the ball club.
See how that plays out as this game goes along. Klafke step back at the free throw line, left it short. Montserrat with the rebound. Step back for Epps, too strong off the back iron. He was just 1 of 12 from 3 in the first meeting between these two. A.J. Storr off the kick out, buries it. Nice assist from Klafke.
I thought the shot from Epps coming down was a little ill-advised early in the shot clock and without the ball movement. And Mississippi State has started to go a little bit cold. They have 5 assists in this game. They only had 11 in their last game. So they were moving the ball well, which created the offense.
Corin Johnson 3. Boy, that was wide open and straight on, but it's tipped out by Klafke. Storr guarded by McGee. Where does Dia go with it? Working his way inside with the left hand. Left it a little short. Montserrat with the rebound. King Grace missed the last one. He misses this one as well. That's 3 pretty quick triggers from Mississippi State on the offensive end.
The success early on came when the ball going from one side of the court to the other and then back. And when you're able to do that, you can catch the defense in rotation and take advantage.
Bulldogs in conference play, worst three-point shooting team in the SEC. Can the early makes be a little bit of fool's gold and get you into shots that you don't want to take?
Quite possibly. He tried to muscle that one up over Jabari McGee, and here he is standing his ground with some physicality and draws the foul on the flip side.
Officiating crew allowing it to be a little physical early. Corin Johnson picks up the foul. It's his first. And yes, it was a foul.
Yeah, I think they thought it was the foul on the other side with this defense right there by McGee. But as you can see, kept his verticality. He's powerfully built, a strong base. You're not going to move McGee off his spot.
6'2", 210 for Jabari McGee.
I think that could play well even in other sports.
Epps working against Pinkins on the drive. Scoops left it short, but it's tipped back up and in. I think that was Quincy Ballard that got the bucket.
But it was created because of the pace in which they play. They found some good things, and then it's tough on the offensive rebounding as far as boxing out for Ole Miss is concerned, and a big putback for the Bulldogs.
Nice bounce pass by Comerdine. Was able to split the double team, and then Malia headed downhill, had it knocked away.
Big opportunity. He slips this screen roll, and you're going against a freshman downhill. That's when if you're Dia, you just got to go ahead and elevate up top and finish with strength.
A.J. Storr with the catch on the baseline jumper. Fast start tonight for A.J. Storr. He's got 8. Had 17 in the first meeting, coming off a 27-point performance against Alabama on Wednesday night.
Storr operates really well in the mid-range, coming off of those pin downs and curls.
Ballard, what a great seal. And then he rotates to the basket for the flush.
And a great recognition as he had to switch down low, and he had a small on him and took advantage.
There's a bump and a foul on Jabari McGee. His first. You hear people talk about big guys doing your work early. Is that what this is?
It was a great post-entry pass by McGee, first and foremost, with that bounce pass. And then you see he has Comerdine, puts him on his top side. The beautiful pinpointed pass leads Ballard directly to the layup. And that right there is basketball one-on-one, 101 when you talk about post entries and post play.
Quincy Ballard gets a break for now. Jamarion Davis-Fleming comes in. He had a great game in the first matchup between these two teams. Catch and shoot for Perry.
That's a big shot right there. Ole Miss is starting to find a little bit of rhythm from the outside, knocking down the jumpers.
On the floor right now, we have the all-time leading scorer in Kentucky high school basketball history and the all-time leading scorer in Mississippi basketball history, Perry for Ole Miss. And, of course, Hubbard for Mississippi State. A turnover there by Epps. No-look lob. Storr able to grab it, and then that's going to be goaltending. The block was as the ball was coming off the glass by King Grace. Bulldogs have led it by as much as 10 right now. A 3-point game in Oxford. Mississippi State in front. Finals. There are a lot of eyes on a Chancery Court in Mississippi earlier this week. Oh, my goodness. Jamarion Davis-Fleming.
Wow. You talk about making a play coming out of the break. And this is a freshman that has a huge upside with his athletic ability. And right there, he just took it right to him. Man.
Storr guarded by Davis-Fleming. Zach Day has come in for Ole Miss. Storr working against Hubbard. Gets some space with the turnaround. Missed the shot, though. Davis-Fleming, in his first kind of baptism into this rivalry, the Mississippi native from Canton, the freshman, had a monster game. 13 points, 8 rebounds, and 4 blocks. And he announced his arrival in Game 2 in this series with authority just a moment ago as well.
I'm telling you, this kid has a lot of upside. And here you see him going and taking it right to the rack with a big-time finish over top. You know, this kid, good read as he turns that corner. Phenomenal finish right there by Jamarion Davis-Fleming.
How about the wingspan, too?
6'10", 240 pounds. You know, in a day like today, when you have so many players who are changing teams, a guy with his athletic ability can be in a program for a long period of time. You can see the development where he can really be a big factor of learning one system with that physique and that raw athleticism.
Certainly has that opportunity going forward. Last year at Canton High School, he averaged 24 points and 12 rebounds. A couple of free throws by Epps, making a 7-point lead for Mississippi State. Perry. Ole Miss shooting just 31% early, 8 of 26. Achor has come back in. Deep three for Hubbard, and he is the all-time three-point leader at Mississippi State. That is career three, number 281.
A beautiful job of him recognizing the defense. They sagged back on him for the first time this game, and that's a player you cannot allow to have a clean look. He's done it for 281 times in a Mississippi State uniform.
Josh Hubbard, as a freshman, made 108 threes at Mississippi State last year in his sophomore season. So that's a good number. Did it again. 108 again last year. That was three-pointer number 65 this season for Hubbard.
It's a magnificent player who's been bringing his A game as of late, despite the losses. You have to marvel at players who are going to be at the top of the scouting report where teams are trying to stop you, and you still bring it every single night.
Klafke guarded by Epps. Gets it to Storr. Storr working against Achor. Can't get the roll, and Hubbard's there to grab the rebound.
That's really good defensive work right there by Mississippi State. They switched those screens and communicated very well.
A.J. Storr got a hand on it, then he pushed his own teammate out of the way to race to the rack and get the bucket.
And you see Storr recognizing that he had a beat on that one to get the easy bucket.
12 points for A.J. Storr. Here's Achor. This time he is short with the three. Made a couple of big ones early for the Bulldogs. Storr thought about it, turned it down. Klafke guarded by Hubbard. Dia rattled it home from the left elbow. 7 points now for Malik Dia.
Starting to get a little bit of rhythm right there on those mid-range jump shots.
McGee hands it off to Epps.
Got the switch on the outside with Dia out on Epps. So you got a small on the inside with Fleming.
Storr got a foot on that one, and so shot clock will go to 20.
Oh, you see, it's really good job here as you see A.J. Storr. He pushes off his own teammate, say, hey, Perry, I got this one.
It's like, Travis, I'm faster than you. Get out of the way. Mississippi State has led for the duration. They're up 6 right now, 31-25. Ole Miss won the first meeting in Starkville on January 17th, 68-67. And it came down to the wire. Epps gets a little screen from Davis Fleming. Gets it off to Matsura. Into the lane. Shot clock winding down. Matsura flips it up with the right hand. It's an air ball grabbed by Malik Dia.
Good defense right there by the Rebels. Triple switch that action.
Dia tried to go Euro step there, and a foul was called. Chris Jans beside himself. Davis Fleming called for the foul. A couple of free throws coming up for Dia.
And I tend to agree with Chris Jans as Dia came down in full speed, and the defense came over and converged with two of them. He tried to make a nifty move. I don't see too much contact. You see him try to Euro step right through the contact, but somehow draws the foul, goes to the free throw line.
Pinkins into the game for A.J. Storr. Dia gets 1 of 2. Dia now will go to the bench He did not stop for a visit with Chris Beard, but it appeared, based on what we saw in the last 4 or 5 minutes, that he got the message from that previous timeout.
Well, good things happen when you take it to the basket. And there you see him being rewarded as he attacked. He draws the foul, even though it may not have been as much contact as Chris Jans would like to see. He goes to the free throw line, and he's helped Ole Miss get back in this game.
Oh, what a tough shot on the baseline for Josh Hubbard. He's got 11.
Hubbard has a unique ability to drive full speed and abruptly stop and elevate over the top, even at his stature. It's something to watch.
Cassius hits a big screen, then gets it back into the lane, goes to the rim, and couldn't get the roll. Hubbard crossing over, working against Klafke. The step back three is good. Biggest lead of the night for Mississippi State.
My goodness. And the rhythm is coming for Josh Hubbard. And he's coming down in transition, has the matchup he wants, and he's making them pay.
Third different time that the Bulldogs have led it by 10. Ole Miss has shaved it to 3. They've shaved it to 5, but the Bulldogs have been able to push it back out. Perry working against Montserrat. Kicks it out. Comardine, 3 ball on the way. No.
Good box out and rebound by Jamarian Davis-Fleming.
Pat Pinkett was able to punch it out on the far sideline. Coming into tonight's ball game, Hubbard was tied with Barry Stewart all-time with 283.
Well, he's done a good job of recognizing this game. He set his teammates up with early assists, and now he says it's my time. He's getting in his bag, and he's feeling the groove. Josh Hubbard has the Bulldogs ahead.
Dubin, always. You look at the timeline for Josh Hubbard in this rivalry series. This is the 6th game in which he has played. Earlier this year, 13 points on just 3 of 16. Tonight he's 5 of 6. He's already made 2 threes, and he's perfect at the free throw line.
Well, today's the day he's eating, and he's going to work early on. It's because he's been playing this game at a really good pace and understanding it. They came with double teams and traps early on. He was unselfish, got the ball out of his hands, and now he's recognized that he has the one-on-one matchups, and he's taking advantage.
So Hubbard has made more shots in the first half of this game than he has made in the entirety of any of the previous 5 games that he's played against Ole Miss. And now Jabari McGee gets in the action. A chance here for a 3-point play as the Bulldogs lead it by 12.
When you talk about muscling one home, and number 2 in black with this physicality takes a big right to the chest, and there he is able to get that one in. That's a fearless player to take on one of the big players in the SEC to the rack for an and 1.
Can't finish off the 3-point play, left the free throw short. And Ole Miss cut into the 12-point deficit with 2.5 minutes until halftime. Bulldogs had a 10-point lead in the first meeting in Starkville. Ole Miss ended up winning that game. Shot clock under 10. Dia guarded by Davis-Fleming. Working into the lane, kicks it out. Comardine on the baseline. Shot clock at 1. Pinkins didn't get it off in time. Shot went in, but it didn't count. A shot clock violation.
That's a big-time stop for Mississippi State. You can sit down and play defense for the entire 30 seconds. That's something to build on. In a game of this magnitude for in-state bragging rights, you're going to have a defensive effort like that for the entire 40 minutes.
I suppose hindsight 20/20, but that's one where you need Comardine to pull the trigger from the corner, right?
Yeah, there's got to be a little bit more recognition of the shot clock and shoot that one with a lot of confidence.
He's only got 1 shot attempt in the game tonight. Does have 5 assists in the first half. Epps around the screen, kicks it off. Montserrat. Hubbard on the dribble, guarded by Storr.
The defense by Storr in isolation.
Loses the handle, ball loose on the floor. Shot clock winding down, but Montserrat gets it up and in. And Josh Hubbard slow getting up That is not what you want to see if you're a Bulldog fan. He kind of went to the ground and had somebody fall over him, it looked like to me.
He's a tough player. He's been on the deck in recent games, but here he is. He loses the ball, but the presence of mind to get his head up and flip it to his teammate, Matsura, as he gets landed on. Really good job of communicating by both of those two as Sergei Matsura communicated to Hubbard as they knew the shot clock was going down.
Like A.J. Storr fell on the left leg. They get it to Chest, who kicks it out. Klafke guarded tightly by Epps. That's a tough shot for Klafke.
Yes, it is.
Bulldogs in front by 14, trying to add to the lead. Hubbard into the lane with the left hand. Hubbard got the roll. That is 16 first half points for Josh Hubbard and an 11-0 run for Mississippi State. We'll take a 30-second timeout.
I feel when I went to
Mississippi State with a 16-point lead and the basketball. Chris Jans taking a timeout to draw something up before this possession. Bulldogs have gotten a huge performance tonight from Josh Hubbard. 16 points on 6 of 7 shooting. Ole Miss so far led by A.J. Storr. He's got 12 in the game.
You got to know where this ball is going. I'm looking for number 12 in black. Using him some screen situation.
Instead, Epps, and he throws up the lob, an easy dunk there for Davis Fleming. An 18-point lead for Mississippi State.
And that time they used Hubbard as a decoy, and that's a big bucket right there, coming right back. Johnson, when Ole Miss needed one in a big way.
That snaps a 13-0 run for Mississippi State. Corin Johnson with his first points. Bulldogs can hold for the final shot of the half.
They just ran this ghost screen where Hubbard's going to come set a ball screen and fake it. I'd look to maybe run it again if I'm State.
Epps working downhill, throws the lob. No, this time he just throws it up off the window and gets the bucket. And now he's got a free throw coming as well.
And that's a beautiful job right there. And with 51 and 3/10 seconds, Jan calls this timeout. He runs the same set 2 times in a row. And Epps makes a really good read that time, and this time going to the line for the old-fashioned three-point play.
Bulldogs going to bring King Grace into the game. They'll get Josh Hubbard off the floor, 6.1. A little more length, and also you don't want Hubbard to grab a foul with 6 seconds until the half.
These last possessions going into the half are so important, and coaches want to make sure they can see if they can control those moments. We'll see what Ole Miss has.
Corin Johnson coming downhill in a hurry with the clock winding down. He puts it up off the glass, left it short, and Mississippi State will take a 19-point lead into the half on a night when Josh Hubbard becomes the all-time three-point king at Mississippi State. He made his 281st and 282nd threes in the first half. Bulldogs trying to get a win on the road tonight in Oxford. Time for us to send you to the studio. Here is Zubin.
Richard, thank you very much.
The way to the basket, drawing an and one. It's the little details in the last moments of the game where you can see this Mississippi State coaching staff designing up action to steal a few buckets.
Josh Hubbard leading the way with 16 points, including his 281st career three-point made. That makes him #1 all-time at Mississippi State. A.J. Storr with a 3 to start the second half, and then a whistle and a foul underneath. That's going to go on a chore. And now he's having a conversation with Garrett Shannon saying, wait, who, me? Got him on the clear out, right?
And he said, yeah, you.
Chore got the party started for Mississippi State. He scored the first 11 points of the game for the Bulldogs.
Did a really good job as Ole Miss was trapping and trying to get the ball out of Hubbard's hands early on in the game, and a Chore answered the bell for State.
Malik Dia turns it over, trying to go cross court to A.J. Storr. It was through his hands, and so Mississippi State gets a stop on Ole Miss's first trip down the floor to start the second half.
That's big for State to set the tone defensively. 2 misses and come up empty for Ole Miss. They're going to have to figure some things out on the offensive side if you're the Rebels.
Inside to Ballard. All loose. That's a jump ball. The possession arrow keeps it on the offensive end for Mississippi State. Bulldogs got 16 from Hubbard and 11 from Achor in the first half, the only 2 in double figures. Ole Miss was led by A.J. Storrs, 12 points. Nobody else in double figures. Dia had 8. One other note, Mississippi State in the first half from 3 goes 5 of 11. In the first meeting, they shot 19% from 3. They were 5 of 27. Bulldogs made their last 7 buckets of the first half, and Ballard just takes his time, gathers himself, and then flushes it.
Well, it's that speed dribble that Josh Hubbard used after Ole Miss hard hedged, and he able to buy himself some time to deliver that to Ballard rather, for the finish.
Dia gets it to Klafke, who is guarded by Hubbard. Comerdine has not scored in the game, had 5 first half assists. Storr, shot clock winding down, and he's fouled on the way up by Achor.
Yeah, you can see Sean Jones Jr. communicating to Achor. As you can see, that speed dribble eludes the defense, and he puts it on a dime right to Quincy Ballard for the slam. On the flip side, it's the foul for Mississippi State. Really good defense for the majority of that possession, but a lot of lack of discipline as they try to contest the shot.
Biggest lead of the night for the Bulldogs. They're up 21. A.J. Storr trying to cut into that at the free throw line. He's now got 13 points. Storr well-traveled in college basketball. He was freshman All-Big East at St. John's. Then he was second team All-Big Ten at Wisconsin. Transferred last year to Kansas. Played off the bench, limited minutes. And he has had a big season for Ole Miss.
A really good player, a do-it-all guard, strong body, a two-way player. Now he has the assignment of guarding Josh Hubbard.
Epps with the step-back 3 off the front iron, and touched last by James Scott.
Last baseline out-of-bounds opportunity for Mississippi State. They got in this box set and elected to throw the ball all the way into the backcourt to Achor. And what that does is that allows his defense to get spread out, and they give it to Josh Hubbard, and then he's able to operate. See what they'll elect to do here in this set.
Bounce it into Hubbard in the corner, and he stepped on the sideline. Some of the folks on the Bulldog bench right there in front of them wanted a bump.
Well, a tough place to try to catch the ball if you're Hubbard. You have to do your work early and give yourself a little bit more space to catch it deep in that corner. So he got trapped and touched the sideline.
I think Chris Jans looked to his coaching staff and said, what are they doing in terms of throwing it there? Malik Dia catching the drive, gets a little space, and he banks it in off the window.
That's a good move right there by Dia. And he used that shoulder move to create the separation and the soft touch off the glass.
Into the corner, Epps for 3, no, and Scott pulls down the board. Comerdine kicks it off. A.J. Storr, 3 ball, no. Dia keeps it alive, and then Storr grabs a loose ball. So Ole Miss steals a possession. Bulldogs wanted a foul there. Dia on the straight line drive with the jam. Pat Adams gives a timeout to Chris Jans, and he took the timeout because he wanted to go after one of the other officials. Timeout on the floor. We'll take it as well. Ole Miss trying to make a run. They've scored 6 in a row. The lead, though, for Mississippi State is 15. Mississippi State leads Ole Miss by 15. This is the play that Chris Jans was so upset with before the break.
Well, it's the 50-50 balls that you have to have in a rivalry game. And you see on the box out there that, as you can see with Dia and Jones, he feels like it was an over-the-back call, which gave him an extra possession, allows Malik Dia to get this ball on the reset and drive it straight to the basket for a big-time momentum-changing basket. That stop potentially for Mississippi State may have been something that allowed Ole Miss to now get a little bit of momentum coming into the timeout.
Josh Hubbard says, there's your momentum. What a night for Hubbard. 18 points. He has missed only one shot tonight. 7 of 8 from the field.
You got a guy who right now is seeing the rim like it's the ocean as he's throwing it in there with so much ease in the way he's playing the game.
Hubbard had 31 against Tennessee on Wednesday night. Comardine. He's been hesitant to shoot the basketball tonight.
Yeah, you're exactly right. He's going to have to be a little bit more assertive offensively.
Trying to slip Ballard to the rim there. He hands it off to Sean Jones Jr. Now Hubbard.
Really good ball movement right here for the Bulldogs.
Jones into the corner, and Dia nearly had the interception, had it go through his hand.
An easy steal opportunity right there for Malik Dia. A two-hand steal, but a baseline out-of-bounds opportunity. They're going to have to work quick, not super quick, with plenty of time with 6 seconds to go. They have to be decisive when they get the ball.
McGee into Jones. Shot clock at 5. Jones gives it back to McGee. He tries to get some space, lets it fly, and buries it.
Really good presence of mind by Jabari McGee.
Jabari McGee now with 5 points. Dia on the drive. He's fouled. It's little things in a game that add up. You have Malik Dia where he's got a chance for the steal. They get 6 on the shot clock. He couldn't secure it, and then McGee, man, what a three.
And that pump fake that created the separation, a really good job by McGee to knock down that shot as the shot clock expired.
Jamarion Davis-Fleming into the game, replacing Achor. He picked up his 3rd foul. You know, they substituted Achor after about 5 minutes of game action. He was on a heater to start the game.
Yeah, he was. He responded to the defensive coverage of Ole Miss, and now you can see Ole Miss throwing a little bit of full court pressure on, trying to bracket Josh Hubbard.
One of the things that Chris Jans wanted was somebody besides Josh Hubbard to make plays. Hubbard's had a big night.
Well, they're face guarding him with Klafke off ball, but it's tough to get the ball.
That one spins off the rim, and Comardine gets the rebound.
That was really close.
Coming off a screen, it's a catch and shoot for Hubbard. He's so quick with the release. Dia working against Ballard. Good spin move, and he lays it up and in. Really kind of hung on the rim.
A really good job. He turned and faced and used his quickness. That quick spin move was able to create the extension and separation he needed.
Dia now with 16 points, and then he picks up a foul. Got a hand into the throat, it looked like, of Josh Hubbard.
Really good job by Hubbard. Savvy player selling that one. That presence of mind once again by McGee at the end of the shot clock. It's big buckets like that has State up on the road.
Most recent from Joe Lunardi, 11 SEC teams projected into the field of 68. Florida moving up earlier today from a 3 seed to a 2 seed as they move to 10-2 in SEC play. Got Missouri as the last team in the field. I think started the day in the last 4 in. Missouri hosting Texas later tonight.
Big opportunity for the Missouri Tigers to improve that NCAA tournament resume.
Shot clock winding down deep. 3 from Sean Jones Jr.
That's a tough shot. Mississippi State has been able to hit a bunch of breathing room jumpers in this ball game so far.
7 of 16 from 3. That's 44% for a team that in league play shoots 27.5% from behind the arc. A.J. Storr trying to answer. Scott kept it alive, but the loose ball grabbed by Davis Fleming. He gets out to Hubbard. Hubbard with the lob and missed the dunk.
That's one
kind of an awkward pass.
If you're Sean Jones Jr., that's one you got to come down with and then reset yourself. If you can't finish that alley-oop cleanly, just catch it and come back down and then adjust.
Comerdine on the drive, draws the foul. He'll have a chance to get in the scoring column for the first time tonight. Comerdine had 17 in the first meeting.
Hubbard coming down and recognizing the alley-oops, but Jones Jr. not able to catch that one as he's up under the goal. Just come back down, settle yourself, and then decide if you want to go back up with the layup or then reset the offense. But possessions of such where you're not able to capitalize cleanly, value the ball in those moments to get a better shot.
Ballard goes to the bench for Mississippi State. Sergei Matsura back in. Played 10 minutes in the first half, had 5 points. Comerdine got both free throws, and Ole Miss trails by 17. McGee over the head pass. Matsura trying to find somebody to get it to. He gets it to McGee. Drive it downhill. McGee, a lot of contact, no whistle. And then they say Mississippi State touched it last.
A lot of physicality in this one underneath the goal. They got that one right as that one goes off of the thigh of McGee.
Pretty physical game. Mississippi State in this second half has fouled 4 times. Ole Miss has been called for 1. Zach Day into the game for Ole Miss, the redshirt freshman from Midland, Texas. Comerdine lets a 3 fly, and he got it.
That's big right there for Comerdine. They're going to need his offensive output in this game if they're going to make this comeback. He's really good at his creativity for others, but he's going to have to be far more assertive when he gets the ball.
That's only his second shot attempt of the game. Hubbard trying to turn the corner on Day, gets into trouble. He had 3 around him, and Comerdine called for the foul.
Unbelievable. You talk about having the ball on a string. He came off that screen roll set and got into the speed dribble, and look at him. 3 guys around behind his back, and somehow, some way, is able to get this up and draw the foul. This is magnificent work by Josh Hubbard.
There was not a window to shoot there. And yet, Hubbard back at the free throw line where he makes the first. 78% free throw shooter for the year. Missed a couple late in the first meeting in Starkville. He was only 5 of 10 from the line in that game. Game that Ole Miss won by 1, 68-67.
You know, if he's a competitor, he's been pointing at this matchup to get another chance as he missed those free throws and the layup down the stretch to win that game in Starkville. He's bringing his A game here tonight on the road.
19 points now for Hubbard, leads all scorers. A.J. Storr, contested jumper. That's a hard shot. And Mississippi State able to corral the long rebound. That's a foul on Corey Chest, called for a reach-in there.
Hubbard's such a poised and savvy player. He comes off those ball screen actions. You got to make sure you show your hands high. If you reach in just a little bit of trying to go for the ball, he can manipulate things and draw an easy foul.
Shot clock now under 10.
He's got the matchup he wants up top.
Hubbard working against Day on the drive. High off the glass, and a score for Hubbard.
And I tell you, he's in a groove, reading the game masterfully.
Klafke, left alone on the baseline, knocks it out. Eduardo Klafke has been playing pretty good basketball for Ole Miss of late. Had 16 a week ago against Texas, had 12 against Alabama on Wednesday night. McGee pulls up. Oh, and he buried it. Jabari McGee with another make. He's got 7 points. He's made a couple of tough shots tonight.
These Mississippi State guards are shooting the ball with a lot of confidence. They get these matchups that they like, and they're just elevating right over the top and sticking it.
Chess trying the wraparound pass, and he turned it over, and Mississippi State will now quickly bring it up. You look at this Mississippi State team this year, and the reason they've struggled is because they've had trouble scoring. One of the bottom scoring teams in conference play. They're shooting 60% tonight, and there's another one for Josh Hubbard.
My goodness. Man, it's a chess match, and Josh Hubbard is coming down, and he's getting the isolation matchup he wants. He got Zach Day on an island and went to work.
Storr with the lob. Chess climbed the ladder to get it. He was fouled on the way down, got the bucket to go. He'll have a free throw, but first, a timeout.
He's recognizing that he has the mismatch that he wants, and he's going to work, driving it to the bucket, and this time he steps it back with the crossover and knocks it down from deep range.
Josh Hubbard has been the story tonight, 24 points for Mississippi State, and he's done it in a bunch of different ways.
Yeah, but it's been you're on Hubbard Island that he's been going to work. He's been doing a really good job. And you talk about that smile that he has. He knows he's in a groove on the road.
Josh Hubbard was originally out of high school, Madison Ridgeland Academy, where he scored more points than anybody else in Mississippi high school basketball history. He was originally committed to Ole Miss. Kermit Davis was still the head coach. Ole Miss made a coaching change and decommitted. At that point, Mississippi State jumped in. George Brooks, longtime assistant on the Mississippi State staff, kind of led the recruiting effort with Josh Hubbard. He's been in Starkville and has been a star. He is one of 7 players in SEC basketball history that scored 500 points in each of his first 2 seasons. Only 7 ever have done it. I'm sorry, in his first 3 seasons, freshman, sophomore, junior.
2 seasons, 3 seasons. The guy knows how to get buckets.
You want the other names on the list?
Please.
Allen Houston, Bernard King, James Robinson, Ronnie Williams, Scotty Thurman, Eddie Johnson.
Yeah, a lot of buckets with that.
A lot of buckets. McGee in trouble in the corner, trying to get it to Epps. He did. He threw it right into the face of Epps. Ole Miss gets the ball, and now a foul on Jones going the other way off the outlet pass to Klafke.
Not a bad foul by Jones. It might be intentional, but it allows the Mississippi State defense to get back and set up. Throws this ball, goes right off the face of Jaden Epps.
Tomerdine gets it to Klafke. Catch and shoot from the wing. He's short. And the rebound to Epps. Mississippi State shooting 61% from the field. Had some turnover issues early, but they've calmed those down. Only 7 turnovers tonight for the Bulldogs. Ole Miss has only turned it over 5 times. Double team. Get it along the baseline to Jones. He dumps it off. Davis Fleming fouled on the way to the rack.
I don't know how Jabari McGee was able to get that bounce pass to the other side to Jones. But a good presence of mind by Davis Fleming to cut to the basket, the recipient of that. Look at this. Dead in the corner, a bounce pass to the other corner. The short corner drops it off over to Davis Fleming. He's fouled going to the line.
Put a little English on that pass.
Man.
Minnesota Fats with a pool cue there.
8-ball corner pocket.
Davis Fleming too strong with the free throw. The foul, by the way, was on Comerdine, his 3rd. One area that Mississippi State would like to see Jamarian Davis Fleming get better is at the free throw line. He is Coming into tonight, 11 of 33, so 11 of 34 on the year. Otherwise, pretty good freshman year, averaging 4 points and 5 rebounds. Missed them both, but a lane violation.
Many times free throw shooting can be psychological, and for players that might have a nice looking stroke, you have to relax, and more than anything, just shoot the ball. I mean, he takes a lot of time taking a deep breath and thinking about it, and sometimes that can play against you.
He missed all 3 tries. Perry was about to pull a 3. Epps was called for a hold, so he grabbed the jersey.
Epps got screened pretty hard on that ball screen action, and then he tried to recover, got a little physical.
I don't know if that's a terrible foul because that was about to be a wide open look for Travis Perry. Ole Miss was trying to get Travis Perry to the line.
You see a little bit of grab by Jaden Epps on James Scott. A really good job. This Mississippi State coaching staff was screaming to the officiating crew. That foul will put James Scott on the free throw line to shoot the 2.
Travis Perry 7 of 8 from the line on the year. James Scott 8 of 15. This is a 1-and-1. And he makes the first. James Scott was a guy that a lot of people wanted in the transfer portal at Louisville a year ago. He started 31 of 35 games last season. 6'10", 225 pounds, but he's averaged just 3 points and 4 rebounds, and he makes 1 of 2 from the line there. And after a loose ball, the Bulldogs dig it out. Talking with Chris Beard today, you saw Montserrat just with the basketball. That one won't go for Epps, and Perry gets the rebound. Beard was very complimentary of Montserrat and the way he played. Inside, there is James Scott with the dunk. That's what he did a year ago. Had 79 dunks at Louisville last year.
That's how you get active and get into the game. And a really good job by Travis Perry on that look-off and then drop the dime.
Ole Miss has scored 6 straight. Tough shot off the glass. How many times have we said tough shot tonight for Mississippi State? That time, Jaden Epps.
He did a great job. That little shimmy move that he did got his defender off balance, and he got just the amount of separation he needed to finish that one. That was a big bucket for Mississippi State.
Foul there on Sergei Montserrat.
You see on the dribble handoff, and he gets that little shimmy that he gives to Comardine is allow him to get that first step and get past him all the way to shoot it off the glass. 8 minutes and 47 seconds to go. A lot of time in this game, and Mississippi State will have to continue to have buckets from Epps coming up down the stretch.
Ole Miss trailed by 19 at the half. They have shaved 3 off of that deficit. They haven't been able to put together an extended run. Malik Dia missed it, but A.J. Storr there for the easy putback. Nobody blocked him out.
Well, Montserrat mistimed his jump on that rebound, and there was Johnny on the spot for Storr, and that's a big bucket. It's starting to be a little bit of momentum for Ole Miss. If they're going to start their move, they got to make it now.
Hubbard on the drive, and he draws the contact. That's Travis Perry called for the foul. 8.5 minutes to play.
Strong move. He creates that separation with that shoulder move and somehow almost able to make this one drop. It's a tremendous individual effort by Hubbard.
Josh Hubbard tonight going over 20 points for the 42nd time in his career. He's got 8 career games where he has scored 30 or more. He's now missed his last 2 free throw attempts. 25 now for Hubbard.
Both of these teams are starting to put together an offensive rhythm. If you're going to finish this game out, it's going to have to be done on the defensive end.
Commerdine saw Lane, took it all the way in, but he overshot it too strong off the glass. And now the Bulldogs, well, they get down the floor quickly the other way. Jaden Epps left alone, right side. 3 ball good for Epps.
The missed shot on the other end by Commerdine created numbers coming back the other way, and Epps is able to knock that one down for the Bulldogs.
His first make from deep tonight. Mississippi State in front again by 18. Arizona trying to bounce back after that first loss of the year. What an incredible environment at Fog Allen back on Monday night. Here in Oxford, Mississippi State trying to avoid losing the season series to Ole Miss. That has not happened in a decade. Neither team in the last 10 years has won more than 3 in a row or lost more than 3 in a row in the series. There's a lob and a big finish from Dia. Store to Dia for 2.
You could see that one developing as that two-man game had really good rhythm and separation with that one, and Dia goes up top for the finish. Electric. And that quick first step, he gets you on your heels, and he has the ability to jump off of either foot to get that ball off the glass. And another bucket for Hubbard.
That sounded like an understated wow. I was trying to look around Chris Jans to see the finish there from Hubbard. 27 points tonight for Josh Hubbard, going back to the last offensive possession.
Woo. That's a big bucket right there for Ole Miss. They needed that one coming after the timeout. And Dia goes up top for the hammer. Could be what the Rebels need to get a little bit of momentum.
All right, so let's talk about Malik Dia a second. 18 points. He had 2 against Alabama on Wednesday night. He went scoreless against Texas last Saturday. It doesn't feel like Malik Dia plays a game where he should ever score 2 points in a night.
No, and he has the ability to be, if not the top big in the conference, definitely amongst the top. And it's consistency of play for him. It can be all the difference for him and for the Rebels. He has the ability to do so many things in the paint, but in many times displays the showing of his versatility, and it might be a little bit too much for him and others. But nonetheless, 7 minutes to go in this game. He still has a big opportunity to continue to establish himself for the Rebels.
19 points tonight for Malik Dia. 3 on the way from the wing. It's tipped around, and then there for the jam, Jamarian Davis Fleming. He went down hard at the end of that play.
It's a big-time jump. Dunk right there by Jamarian Davis Fleming.
Klafke picking up the foul.
He's had a couple of finishes that are high level in this game, and you see the ball comes right to him and finishes that one through the contact.
You saw Travis Perry had no chance to get the rebound, so he just went up and spiked it down to the ground, and Davis Fleming was there. Missed another from the free throw line, and Mississippi State not going to be able to corral it. Epps was trying to get there, had it go off of his fingertips. 28 apiece in this second half, which means Mississippi State leading by the same margin they did at halftime, 19. Alongside Richard Hendricks, Richard Cross with you tonight from the SJB Pavilion in Oxford, Mississippi. Ole Miss playing its second consecutive home game after 4 straight road games. They were displaced by the winter storm that came through, and a lot of freezing rain, a lot of damage in the Oxford area on the Ole Miss campus. There's a feed inside to Dia once again. Like good seal and nimble with the finish.
And kept that ball high and kept it high, which was the reason he was able to finish around the traffic.
Dia up to 21 in the game. Good find from Davis Fleming into the corner. McGee turns it down. The extra pass to Epps. He had that maybe partially blocked by Klafke, and now Klafke leading the break for Ole Miss, trying to spin in the lane, nearly walked. Patton Pinkins. Now Dia. Dia on the drive, kicks it off to Pinkins, baseline jumper. Hubbard into the lane, and he's fouled.
I tell you, Josh Hubbard comes down with so much poise and confidence in his eye. He comes down and surveying the court, deciding what he can do with the ball on a string. Gets into the middle of the paint, able to draw another foul and back to the free throw line.
1-on-1 situation here for Josh Hubbard. 27 points. He's 4 of 6 from the foul line. 5 assists tonight for Hubbard, but he's also got 5 turnovers. Missed the free throw. Achor gets the rebound off the missed block out of the putback. 13 points tonight for Achor, but the first since, what, the 15-minute mark of the first half.
That's a big bucket right there. And for Mississippi State, after the missed free throw, to take advantage with the physicality, you can see Achor just makes a strong bully move over A.J. Storr, gets that one, collects himself, and finishes. And to me, in that particular situation, that's where if you're Ole Miss, you have to match up big to big. You've got Malik Dia on one side boxing out Jabari McGee, and A.J. Storr is boxing out Achor. You got to flip that and have the proper matchup to get size on size to secure that board.
Tonight at 8 Eastern on ABC and the ESPN app, the Women's College Game Day crew is at the Maravich Center in Baton Rouge. Had a big one earlier this year against Texas. Perry left alone. He'll fire the three and can't get it to go. Dia taps it around, keeps it alive, and Mississippi State able to save it in the corner.
It's a big save by Jaden Epps. An end of the game situation. Got to shore up your box outs, as you know Ole Miss will be coming.
A.J. Storr going to be called for an illegal screen. Actually, it's going to be Perry.
Yeah, I think they got him when he came into that screen roll situation. He pushed his player into the traffic.
So this rivalry between Mississippi State and Ole Miss being played for the 274th time. It is the 12th most played rivalry in college basketball history. You care to take a guess at the most played of all time?
Duke, Carolina?
Nope. Wrong part of the country. You got to go to the Pacific Northwest.
Oh, wow.
Oregon and Oregon State.
Stumped me there.
Of course, no longer conference mates. A couple of free throws there for Epps, and Mississippi State in front by 21. 5.5 to play. Dia on the drive. But he went in like a freight train there.
That's what you do. Davis Fleming takes on the brunt of that hit. You come in with a spirited drive there. Someone's going to have to make a business decision when you have Malik Dia coming at you. And there he is going to the free throw line once again.
We showed you that interaction in the timeout between Malik Dia and Chris Beard about midway through the first half. And it appears as if Malik Dia has taken that to heart, the message that Chris Beard was sending him. This is not a night where you settle for jump shots, and he has been the aggressor most of the night.
Well, he's made the adjustment, and you can only hope with a little over 5 minutes to go in this game that he will continue to do so and have more momentum moving forward for the remainder of the season. It's a lot to play for both of these teams, and a win today can give you momentum at the back of the SEC season and for the SEC tournament.
Hubbard lost the handle on the way up. Achor there to grab it. Some contact on his shot. And then the loose ball stripped away. Davis Fleming thought he had an offensive board and had it taken away. Inside to Dia. Dia working against the freshman, and he gets another bucket. 25 points now for Malik Dia. That's a season high in SEC play.
That's how you started off. You beeline right there to that block, and you go middle until they stop you. If they stop you, you counter out of it.
Jabari McGee, 3-ball way off the mark that time. Dia couldn't grab the loose ball, but he's able to tap it out to Klafke. Pull-up three for Patton Pinkins is good. And that makes it a 14-point game. First points of the night for the freshman Patton Pinkins.
There's still a lot of time in this game, and Ole Miss is going to have to get it done on the defensive end with some stops.
Kick to the corner, Achor with 3 more.
Massive shot by Achor, created with that dribble penetration from Josh Hubbard.
A new season high for Achor. A.J. Storr with a bucket there.
Achor takes a little bit of hit to the chops with that off arm from Storr.
Well, the efficiency tonight for Achor when he's been on the floor. 16 points on 6 of 8 shooting, 5 rebounds in 18 minutes of action. That was touched last by Mississippi State. 3:25 to play. 99 has had a big night for the Bulldogs from behind the arc. He is 3 of 4. Up there with my dog ate the homework or ate my homework. Who of us has not gotten stuck in traffic somewhere along the way? So during the break, Mississippi State challenged the ruling of last touch by the Bulldogs. After review, they said it was indeed Josh Hubbard. See his right hand on the ball right there that touched it last. So even though that was a media timeout, Mississippi State loses a timeout, and they cannot challenge anything else in the remainder of this game.
Up by 15, but still some momentum has been created by Ole Miss. That call could be massive.
A.J. Storr, big 3 right there for Storr.
You see the response for Ole Miss. A quick bucket with a lot of time left in this one.
That makes it a 12-point game. 21 points tonight for A.J. Storr. Can Mississippi State get a basket? Every time they've needed one, they seemingly have gotten one.
Good matchup with Storr, really good defender.
Pull-up 3, Josh Hubbard buries it. How about a 30 spot for number 12? Wow. And now a steal. Ahead to Hubbard, and he gets the two-handed jam. Josh Hubbard, what a week he has had. 31 against Tennessee on Wednesday night. He's got 32 tonight against the in-state rival Ole Miss. Dia buries a 3.
There's a big jumper. There's Ole Miss, those turnovers, as Hubbard tried to put a bow on that one with the slam dunk.
Only 6 turnovers in the game for Ole Miss, but the 6 turnovers have led to 12 Mississippi State points. Mississippi State content to get it deep in the shot clock. And Achor is fouled by Pinkins with 6 on the clock. This is going back to freshman year for Josh Hubbard. He had 21 in his first game against Ole Miss, but made only 3 shots in the game. A lot of that came from the free throw line. See a 5-point game earlier this year, January 17th. 3 of 16 shooting with 13 points. Distant memory. Tonight, 12 of 16 with 4 made threes. 6 assists. 32 points.
Well, the game has slowed down for this kid. You know, he comes into Mississippi State as a prolific scorer. But the way that he is getting these buckets with so much efficiency is what's impressive. He's making the right reads and decisions with the basketball, takes the game as it comes, and is playing with a supreme level of confidence.
For the year, Mississippi State scores 77 a game. In conference play, 73 a game. They've got 89 on the board with a little under 2 minutes to play. Dia going to fire from deep again. This one off the mark and a whistle. That foul goes against Achor. 4 fouls on him now with 1:39 to play. What a night for 99. He set the tone for Mississippi State right out of the gate. Scored their first 11 points, hit a couple of big threes. Played at Samford, last year at Kansas State. Just 7 games before kind of a mutual decision for Achor and K-State to part ways.
He's been a big-time performer today with 18 points. And Mississippi State had a valiant effort in their last outing against Tennessee, but Josh Hubbard in his 31 points, and that was the only player in double figures. And to get Achor into the point column with his 18 points has been huge for the Bulldogs.
Mississippi State lost that game on Wednesday night to Tennessee by 9. Foul on the rebound try was on Dia. Bulldogs headed to the line to try to add to their point total and extend their lead. It's the second most points they've scored in a game this year. In an overtime loss to Texas to open SEC play, they scored 98, lost that one 101-98. That was a night when Josh Hubbard went for 38. Store pushes it for Ole Miss, who trails by 16. Gets it to Dia once again, and Dia draws a foul again.
Dia continuing to work, and many times with these post-ups, it's just too easy for him. And, you know, you're coming off this performance here with 28 points and going to the free throw line to add to it for his sake and for the Ole Miss Rebels. You hope that he will continue to take this recipe into their next game in conference play.
Mississippi State will host Auburn midweek. Ole Miss headed on the road to take on a Texas A&M team that's suddenly going in the wrong direction. Curious your thoughts. Bucky McMillan obviously done an outstanding job in year one there in Bryan College Station. I'm wondering if the style of play, not just that they press you on defense, but they press you on offense 40 minutes, is that catching up with their legs a little bit?
Well, I think when you look at the schedule, they were able to play some tough teams. You lose the game on the road at Alabama, and then you have Florida come to you. And then the rest of the teams in the league that they're playing are really good teams. So it's a tough point in the schedule that really, quite frankly, would give anyone problems. But it's not just about the pressing with A&M. They can beat you in a lot of ways in the half court, full court, on both ends of the ball. But it's just life in the SEC.
They get it to Epps, open on the wing, and his 3 rims out. Mississippi State was playing keep away that possession, running the clock down. Bulldogs in front by 14 as we move inside a minute. Deep 3 from Klafke. Got his own miss. Missed the follow-up as well. Now Dia with an acrobatic scoop. Makes it a 12-point game, and Mississippi State is going to be able to not quite dribble out the clock. Bulldogs tie their season high with 11 made threes, and they shoot a season high 58%.
18 assists showed that they were sharing the ball tremendously well.
Stepped on the inline, did not get a shot off. There was only 1 remaining on the shot clock. Hubbard saw another one go through the net. That one just doesn't go into the scoring column. Deep 3 from Patton Pinkins. Time down into the single digits. Dia throws one more up at the buzzer off the back iron. And Mississippi State splits the season series with Ole Miss. They pick up their 4th SEC win, a 12-point road victory 90-78 over their in-state rival.
Well, that's a big win for Mississippi State in the Magnolia State rivalry game, and possibly can create a lot of momentum for the Bulldogs down the stretch in the SEC.
A monster night for Josh Hubbard, 32 points. He hit 4 threes, and he became the all-time leading three-point shooter at Mississippi State. 280 coming in. He sits at